Hello students, welcome. Class 12 English. Today we are going to see Unit 1 Prose Two Gentlemen of Verona by A.J. Cronin. Now we will see about the author, A.J. Cronin. His period was from 1896 to 1981. He was a Scottish person, and he was a novelist, dramatist and physician. A doctor by training, Cronin was one of the most renowned storytellers of the 20th century. Most of his stories have emerged from his medical career and are noted for their narrative skill. Cronin's books were not only bestsellers but also some of them, such as The Citadel and Key of the Kingdom, were made into successful films and were adapted for radio and television. His novel Country Doctor was adapted for a long running BBC radio and TV series. This is all about the author. Now we will move into the story Two Gentlemen of Verona by A.J. Cronin. Verona. Verona is a famous city in Italy. It's also a tourist spot. It is a heritage site. So, since it is a tourist spot, our author, that is narrator, A.J. Cronin is the narrator of the story. Now what is meant by narrator? Narrator is like one who tells the story. So, he himself is narrating this story, A.J. Cronin. His driver were moving into the Alps. What is meant by an Alps? Mountain range in Europe. They were moving in the foothills of Alps. Two small boys stopped them on the outskirts of Verona. Two small boys. What they were doing? They were selling wild strawberries. During the time, the narrator's driver, that is the A.J. Cronin's driver, warned the narrator not to buy the strawberries, because what he told, he will be getting much better fruits in Verona, because these boys' appearance were very shabby, that is in poor condition or some lack of care. So that's why the driver, his name is Luigi, he warned his narrator not to buy the strawberries. And those two boys were Niccolo and Jacopo. They both were brothers. They were staying in the city Verona. The elder one named Niccolo, he is of age 13, and the younger one, Jacopo, his age is of 12. One boy, that is the elder one, Niccolo, had worn jersey and cut off khaki pants. Then the other boy, that is Jacopo, he owned shortened army tunic and gathered in loose folds about his skinny frames. Those two boys were two little figures with their brown skins, tangled hair and dark earnest eyes. That is, the author, the narrator and his driver were gazing at those two boys. They felt themselves strangely attracted. And they were the two boys who sell wild strawberries in the outskirts of Verona. Finally, the narrator bought their biggest basket and then set off towards the town. They were staying in the hotel in the Verona city. Next day morning, while coming out of their hotel, they saw their friends bent over shoe shine boxes beside the fountain in the public square, doing brisk business. That is, yesterday they saw the two boys who were selling strawberries. They were shining the shoes, that is, polishing the shoes for the other persons. Suddenly, narrator watched them for a few moments, and as the trade slackened, they went near. Those boys greeted them with the friendly faces, and narrator started asking, "I thought you picked fruits for living," he said. But those boys replied, "We do many things, sir," Nicola answered seriously. He glanced at them hopefully. Often they show visitors through the town to Juliet's Tomb and other places of interest. That is, these boys act as a tourist guide for this particular place also. This Verona city is a tourist spot, no? So various places these boys acts as a tourist guide also. All right, the narrator smiled and he told that please take us along with you. The narrator replied, and those boys were very happy and they made the rounds by interest, was asking, provoked by their remarkable appearance and behavior. These boys were childish enough and in many ways they were quite artless. Jacopo was living as a squirrel. Nicola's smile was steady and engaging. Yet in both these boys' faces there was a seriousness which was far beyond their years. In the week which followed, they saw them frequently, for they provoked extremely useful to them. If they wanted a pack of American cigarettes or seats for the opera or the name of good restaurant, Niccolo and Jacopo could be relied upon to satisfy their needs. So these boys do many works and also they helped the narrator in many ways. Some of the works these boys do are shined shoes, sold fruits, selling newspapers, conducted tourists around the city. Okay. One night, the narrator came upon those boys in the windy and deserted square, resting on the stone pavement beneath the lights. Niccolo sat upright, tired. A bundle of unsold newspapers lay at his feet. Jacopo, his head resting upon his brother's shoulder, was asleep. It was nearly midnight. Narrator asked, "Why are you so late, Nicola?" Nicola replied, "Waiting for the last bus from Padua." Padua is a place, okay? "We shall sell all our papers when it comes in." Again narrator asked, "Must you work so hard? You both looks rather tired." Again he replied, "We are not complaining, sir." Then again narrator asked next morning when he went over to the fountain to have their shoes shined. He said, "Nicola, the way you and Jacopo work, you must earn quite a bit. You spend nothing on your clothes. You eat only little. You earn more, but you spend nothing for yourself. What you people are going to do with this high sum of money? Do you have any plans?" he asked. And also, they didn't even eat a good food. They eat little enough. When he see they have a meal, it's usually black bread and figs. Then narrator asked, "Tell me, what do you do with your money?" He told. He colored deeply under his sunburn and then grew pale. He looked to the ground. "You must be saving up to emigrate to America?" he asked. He looked at me sideways, spoke with an effort. "We should greatly like to go to the States, but here, at present, we have other plans," he told. "What plans?" asked the narrator. He smiled uncomfortably. "Just plans, sir," he answered in a low voice. "Well," he said, "we are leaving on Monday. Is there anything I can do for you before we go?" asked the narrator. Niccolo replied. He shook his head, but suddenly Jacopo said, "Sir," he burst out, "every Sunday we make a visit to the country, Poletta, 30 kilometers from here. Usually we hire a bicycle. But tomorrow, since you're so kind, you might send us in your car." Narrator told, "I already told Luigi have to have a Sunday off. However," he answered, "I'll drive you out myself." That is, the narrator, he is going to drive himself to Poletta with those two boys. Okay? Yes, with this, the first part of the story ends. We'll see the rest of the story in the next class. Thank you.